Hey guys, welcome to another video. This time I am working on a Draw This in Your Style from Beatrice Blue. You can see her illustration in the right corner of your screen. I didn't film my iPad with my phone. I'm just putting on the screen recordings that it automatically records. Because I didn't know that I wanted to film this when I started working on it. So I hope that this is enough. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about art blocks. I asked you on Instagram if you wanted me to talk a little bit about how to get rid of an art block, and you mostly said yes. So here it goes. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is actually participating in art challenges, exactly like this one. This is actually why I wanted to talk about this while working on this piece. I think Draw This in Your Style challenges are really good because you already have a color palette or maybe a pose or something that may be usually a little bit of a bigger problem for you. So you have most of the artwork figured out and you just have to add like something that represents you. Sometimes I go a little bit farther away from the original because I want to really push myself and my creativity, and that's what mostly gets me out of an art block. I suggest you try working when you feel like you don't have any motivation or don't know what to do. Just search up the hashtag dtiys or Draw This in Your Style, and you will find some amazing artwork by other artists which you have actually the permission to reproduce. To make your version of it. So yeah, I highly encourage that because I think that's really, really helpful. The second thing I want to mention is being a part of challenges like Childhood Week or Inktober or anything that's like prompt based. So you basically have one artist or a couple of artists who make up some kind of challenge and add some prompts to it. Like you can draw for a week, and for that week you have like a word every day which you can use to make your piece. And that helps you with inspiration if you don't really know what you can do, or you can ignore the prompts and just work. For example, if it's Inktober, you can just do an ink drawing every day, even if it's not according to the official prompt, or you can make your own prompts. So, because these days I think most of us will be staying at home and working from home, I can suggest some of these challenges that I saw are ongoing or are going to start soon. So, I saw that one artist is hosting Dream Week. Her name is Ellie Bear. I think there are more artists that are hosting this challenge too, but I saw it from her. It's going to be from the 6th to the 12th of April. I also saw a monochrome month, which is going to be the whole month of April, which I think is an awesome idea. It's from Ruth Hammond Illustration, so please go check those out and do your best. You can also just do one drawing for each challenge or anything that inspires you. Use only the prompts or only draw monochrome like once a week or whatever suits you. Just try to motivate yourselves and be part of the community. It's also great when you are part of these challenges because all the other people who are part of it are looking at the hashtag, and then maybe they can see your art and follow you, and you could be like a part of a great community, and I think it's a great experience. The next thing I want to mention is making Pinterest boards and saving art on Instagram. I have I think 20 Pinterest boards. 5 of them are titled references. I have a board called references, photo reference. I have poses reference. I have inspiration. I have draw this in your style board where I save some of the draw this in your style I like. I have background inspiration, I have fan art inspiration, I have literally everything that you can think of, and whenever I don't know what to do, I just go into one of those boards and maybe do a study of a photo, or maybe do a draw this in your style, or look at some fan art and get inspired to do a fan art of my own. Anyways, I highly encourage you saving the things that you like and making boards. You can even make a board in Photoshop, do a collage of things that you like that inspire you. I usually do this when I'm working on character design. I put some photos in my Photoshop and some illustrations from other artists and make a board of that to inspire me to make a new character. What I think is important that you have a lot of references, not just reference one artist, because you can start and copy their style. So maybe it would be best if you worked from photos, but I really encourage you to save stuff that you like, because that's what inspires me the most and helps me get out of an art block. The next thing I want to mention is idea boards in my phone, which is actually just a note where I write everything that pops into my head. I literally bring my phone everywhere with me, even when I take a bath, because that's when I think the most and my mind is the most open. So I'm just writing down everything that comes to my mind. Literally, when I'm in a bus and I see an interesting woman and I think it would be fun to make an illustration of a woman with, I don't know, super long hair or maybe super short hair, or anything that pops into my head, I write it down immediately before I forget it, because I forget about those things a lot. So I have a huge note with all kinds of silly things. Most of those I never actually do, but I usually choose a few of those which are good, and I start working on them in more detail. So I think it's a good thing to always write down your thoughts, because you never know when you can use them, and especially when you're having an art block and you don't know what to do, best is that you just pull out your notebook or your phone and see what you thought of when you actually had inspiration. So yeah, I think that's a really good way to fight art blocks. One of the simplest things, which I think could help you get out of an art block, is to do just simple studies like hands or feet or anything that you're bad at, like poses, maybe some weird angles of people, or drawing flowers, or whatever you're bad at, and just do simple studies with no pressure. Don't think about posting them on Instagram or anything. Just do them for yourself, and maybe from doing those studies you will come up with something you could actually work on in more detail. So I usually do this when I do a lot of commissions, and when I work on some really long projects. I usually do this to relax myself, to get into the drawing mood. So I think it's a good way to start working on anything. I mean, studying, making studies, and improving yourself is always a great way to fight an art block. And that brings me to the last thing I would suggest you do, and that is to take an online course or anything, like watch a YouTube video on how to do something that interests you, like how to draw in, how to paint in watercolors or gouache, or maybe some new kind of digital painting, or maybe doing poses or character design, or any way to improve yourself. Currently I am doing a schoolism course on digital painting. I did one on character design, and I'm planning to do another one. And usually when I feel down, I think it's best to do something that has structure and that has really detailed tasks that you have to do, and then you don't have really much to think about. Like you don't have to be super inspired to work on that, because those are just assignments for your class. And I think like something like that really helps me get back into the mood and makes me think about what all the things I actually could be doing. And it's always a great thing to work on yourself and your skill set and learn new things. So I think that's the most important thing for every artist. I think I should mention this for the end, that you should sometimes just rest and just maybe take a short break of a few days of not working, and maybe that's when your mind will start working and thinking of new ideas, and you could write them down in your notebook and work on them in a few days. So I think sometimes you should just be easy on yourself and try to like watch a movie or maybe take a walk and rest a bit, and that could be actually really inspiring for you. And that's it for all the ways I fight an art block. You can watch the rest of the video without my talking, and I'll meet you at the end of the video. Here I am again. One last thing I wanted to mention is that I'm probably going to be streaming on YouTube starting tomorrow. With all that's going on in the world and my country being basically in lockdown, I really need some human contact and just chatting and stuff like that. So I think most of you will need it too. So feel free to join me probably tomorrow, and you could draw with me or just listen to me or do whatever works for you. And stay safe and take care of yourselves and your families and loved ones. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.